everyone, how's it going? Azren here. I am doing something a little bit different today. We are in Toronto currently, Toronto, Canada. It is one of our major cities on like the eastern side. And I want to do a bit of a discover Francophone culture slash food in Toronto. So we're gonna be hitting up a couple of different Francophone slash French places in the city. And we're gonna be learning a little bit more about them. I'll review some food, we'll talk about them, and hopefully, cross my fingers, I'm gonna try and get, if possible, I wanna try and get some like interviews with some of the restaurant owners, or some of the different places we're gonna go to. No promises on that front, but I'm gonna try my best. Worst case scenario, I will ask the people there a whole bunch of questions and I'll tell you about the places that we're gonna hit up. So, let's go. All right, we found it. Here it is. Pretty excited. Let's head on in. So I've arrived here, got my crêpe. It's very, very, very delicious. I'm loving it. And the owner is actually extremely, extremely friendly. Her name is Veronique. And what's interesting as well about her, which I didn't know until I came here and talked with her, is that she actually speaks a lot of languages. So she speaks English, she speaks French, speaks Spanish, speaks Hebrew, there's 6 of them. There was Italian, and then there was one more that I don't remember. So 6 different languages which I speak, which is like absolutely amazing and super, super impressive. And so it's funny that the first place that I came to happened to be a place with a really friendly owner who spoke a lot of languages, which fits really well with this whole channel and what I do online. So here's my quickie recap of everything behind me here. So behind me is 2 things. Number 1, there's la librairie. I hate that word in French. Librairie Mosaique, or the Mosaic bookstore in English, or Mosaic bookstore, I guess, in English. And actually, before going in, I actually thought it was like a French bookstore, which for the most part it primarily is. However, I was talking to the lady inside, they're actually trying to make it more of a multicultural thing.
Parce que le but c'est surtout de faire une librairie multilingue. Il y a du chinois, de l'arabe. On met l'accent sur le français, mais on voudrait que ce soit aussi multiculturel.
Ah, c'est génial!
Parce que ça correspond bien à l'identité de Toronto d'avoir du français, mais aussi d'autres choses. Et il y a beaucoup d'enfants dont les parents veulent qu'ils apprennent le français, donc ils viennent à l'Alliance, mais les parents viennent d'un autre pays, donc ils aiment bien trouver aussi des livres.
Ah, d'accord. En fait, moi, j'apprends le chinois, donc. And also, one thing I didn't know was that although they share a space with l'Alliance Française, which we'll get into in a second, they share it with like a French organization, and yet they're not affiliated. Est-ce que vous faites partie de l'Alliance Française ici? Ou c'est un...
Non, on est indépendant.
Ok, d'accord.
On loue le local.
D'accord. Right next to it, or right attached to it in the same kind of building, is l'Alliance Française. Now, many of you probably know what it is, many of you, because Alliance Française can be found in basically like, God knows how many cities across the world. I keep seeing it everywhere I travel, and I travel a lot. Basically, in long story short, it is an organization whose goal is to be promoting French language and French culture in whatever cities or whatever areas they are in. And so, for example, they have movie nights, they'll do like a lot of café croissant, where you can just go have a coffee. They offer French lessons, they have something fell on my head, hope it wasn't bird poo. They have French literature lessons, you can read books with them. Like, it's a real monster in a good way. When it comes to French culture and Francophone culture and the language, in the whole, let's say in the language space, in the French language and culture space. So I'm in a little shop right now called Chubby Chou, which is a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a cheese shop. There are lots of French snacks, there's French staff working here. And it's actually interesting, I was talking to the staff about it. And they're telling me that they've been here for like almost 10 years now, so quite some time. Currently all the staff is actually Francophone, so this lady here that I was talking to is from France. The owner is actually from France and he used to before own a restaurant in Toronto, which currently doesn't have for whatever reason. And overall, it's actually fascinating. My short little time in Toronto so far, it's interesting to see how vibrant in a lot of ways the Francophone communities are and that culture is here. Also, I don't know if this is why on purpose or coincidence or why, but in Toronto here, a lot of the Francophone places are all within walking distance of each other. Not all of them, I'm sure, but many of them like are very close together. Like I've just been walking today, which is crazy. Like I couldn't, to my knowledge, based from what I've looked online, right, in my own city, I don't think we have that there. And it's just interesting to see how much, it seems like French has a lot more life here than it does out west in Calgary where I am, in the mountains and the prairies like that. Like it doesn't seem, yeah, I'm just noticing that was quite a bit different. So with that aside, guys, we're gonna wrap the video up. It's about almost 4 or 5 p.m., 4 or 5, one of the two, somewhere in that range of time. I now have to drive out, oh my god, it's raining, to go out in this rain and drive to a place slightly outside of Toronto in preparation for an intensive French lesson that I'm running over the next few days. And I'm also going to meet up with an old, I guess you can say, my old boss really, my old boss from another job that I used to have. So I'm going to meet up with him. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll chat later. Bye for now.